Gunnar, most people that go into a gym, and the first thing they're really worried about is like, oh God, how do I get my waist thinner? I mean, it's just like, you know, women say it's the hips, legs. They have these infomercials. Oh, spot reducing, spot reducing. If you just focus on your stomach, you'll lose it there. But that's not true. It's an overall training.
No such thing as spot reduction. You have to work the abs. You have to work the entire core. You have to work the whole body.
Exactly right. So. This is not going to all of a sudden make everyone's abs go down 10 inches, but it's very, very important to understand how to work the abs. We'll go through what we consider like 5 or 6 of the best ab exercises, the things that you've done for me, and it's been great. This is something that's been around since the dawn of time, the wheel. It's incredibly effective. I remember using this like in high school, and as I do it, Gunnar will describe the torture I'm going through. No, actually. Well, actually, it's sort of like torture, but it's a good torture. It's a good thing. But every now and then you gotta pay the price, you know.
He's gonna get a lot of work here on this in the eccentric phase of the motion, which is on the way down, so it's during the stretching phase. Tremendously difficult not only to stabilize, but he's got to pull. It's very active on the way up, on the contraction. The abs never get a rest on this. There's no pause. Steady breathing.
It's starting out. You don't have to go this far, really. Just this far. You can be sitting there watching your favorite TV show, you know, just playing with the kids, whatever, just rolling back and forth, and then you start to build up a kind of an endurance factor.
You could actually be watching Rocky.
You could be watching Rocky, but I wouldn't recommend it because I know what the outcome is. But it's a fantastic exercise, no kidding aside, and there's a reason it's been around forever. And we're back having a ball. You know, Gunnar, in every gym they have this ball, which has become, you know, a standard piece of equipment. And actually, you have a company that deals with this situation. It's called what?
Did a whole workout program called Core Secrets.
A lot of people that have bad backs, it goes to this, and it's really more of a balancing situation. As I do it, Gunnar will kind of talk you through what the muscles are going through. But this is a great exercise. I used it when I hurt my back, and now it's become part of my everyday workout.
If you think about what you're doing here, you're forcing the abdominal muscles to fire and create different firing patterns, so they're adapting. Just by stabilizing on the ball, you're doing more work than if you were just doing a crunch on a hard, stable surface. You can also rotate at the top and put a little twist on it, engage the obliques, serratus intercostals, all by being on this ball.
No, was that so hard? All right, here's something I've used for a long time, and I think it's really, really good. A lot of people do this where they just kick their legs up. I basically lock off and try to roll my stomach up.
Right. You want to make sure you lift from the lower part of the ab wall, the insertion, not the origin, and you're working the abs and not the hip flexors. Nothing wrong with working the hip flexors, it's just not what you're targeting. So if you can pull in and roll back as opposed to straight leg lifting, you're going to get a lot more out of this exercise.
And that's about it. Here's an exercise that I've loved over the years. You know, loved and hated, but it really has done wonders for me. I use this specifically when I want to change my abs in Rocky. And I went from Rocky 2, which is pretty smooth, to Rocky 3, where I was very, very cut. The main exercise that I used was this one. And as I do it, Gunnar will describe it. And it's not as hard as it looks.
So it's a crunch on a Roman chair, decline bench, but you're adding the rotational component at the top. And anytime you add that transverse plane, that rotation, it becomes functional move, because that's how you move in real life. And you've got to train it in the gym to make it effective in real life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Come back.
Definitely listen to your body and make sure you keep breathing throughout. A lot of people tend to hold their breath.
Believe me, it's no disgrace to do 3 or 4 of these and get tired. But the benefits are incredible.
And if you don't have a twist stick, you can use a broomstick. Any number of things can take the place.
That's right. You can use a fishing rod, broomstick, whatever. Corn stalk, you name it. As long as you keep twisting on that bench.
Kneeling cable abs, you're going to take the weight. A lot of people don't train abs with resistance, which they ought to. It's a muscle group that has to be hit with weights as well. He'll bend down, rolling forward, pulling the abs in as he rocks the body down. Abs have to suck in to get the contraction. You want to hollow it out. Think about a Halloween cat rounding the upper back that way. And then crunch. You can also add to the side so you get obliques in it, not to mention that transverse plane, that rotational plane is very functional. That's how your body works in real life. That's how it should work in the gym.
And I feel that burn. And how many sets do you think they should do?
Start at 2, work your way up to 4 and 5 sets, adding resistance progressively.
Exactly right. And this I would recommend 2 to 3 times a week. Here we go. Now this will be the first one, guys.
Right. Basic crunch, working sagittal plane, typical movement. Everybody uses this to target the six-pack, men and women alike. Everything starts from here. It's the mother. And then adding this, you add a little hinge crunch, so you're working from the insertion and the origin, lower, upper, depending on how you word it.
And I feel that totally.
Yeah.
There's no question about it.
not letting down at the bottom. And then the ultimate, which they've shown in studies to fire more than 200% more muscle fiber, is the bicycle coming up, crossing. Now you've introduced another plane of motion. It's obviously more bang for your buck. You can't go wrong with that. But it's something you got to work up to.
Yeah, I mean, I recommend riding the bicycle. It's a lot easier, but then again, you won't get the benefits of the big-time six-pack. Pleasure and pain, they're not opposites. They're neighbors, separated by a thin line, by a split second. 1 minute you're feeling like everything is going your way, like you're ready to climb the highest mountain, heading for the top of the world. But in the game of life, you never know. You train for years to get a piece of personal glory, for a chance to stand toe-to-toe with your fears and say, here I am. Take your best shot. Then the contest begins and bang! You're down for the count. It's not your day. You tried your best, but was it really your best? So do you go home with a broken heart, or do you get up? Smarter, wiser, and better prepared than ever before. It's a new day. A new season. A new you. You hope it won't be the same story. Or will pleasure turn into pain again? Are you ready to take life's best punch and stay on your feet? I can't answer that. Only you can. Are you hoping for the best? Are you prepared for the challenge? Are you a contender?